GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good evening, Montreal. Tonight we'll break down the shocking stabbing on de Bullion Street, celebrate the opening of the new Pierrefonds Roxborough skate park, and check the latest traffic flow to Faber Station. Weather looks mild with a chance of rain later. Over to you, Emma.
Montreal has opened its first skate park in Pierrefonds Roxborough, a concrete facility with bowls, ramps, and street-style features designed for riders of all ages.
The new Pierrefonds Roxborough skate park, located near the intersection of Rue de la Grande Allée and Avenue de la Côte de Beaupré, officially opened last Saturday with community celebrations.
Features include LED lighting for evening sessions, a large community mural painted by local artists, and a dedicated area for beginners to learn basic skateboarding techniques.
Lots to get to this evening, so let's jump right into the news together right away as we start our broadcast. Here are our top stories. A 36-year-old man was found seriously wounded with knife injuries on de Bullion Street this evening, police said. Officers are investigating the attack. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Police say a 36-year-old man was found lying on de Bullion Street with multiple stab wounds on the evening of August 11th. Officers from the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal responded after a passerby flagged them, discovering the victim bleeding heavily. Emergency crews arrived quickly, applying first aid before transporting him to a nearby hospital. Detectives are canvassing the area and reviewing surveillance footage, but have not released any information about a suspect or motive at this time. Neighbors said they heard shouting shortly before the attack. The investigation remains ongoing as the city works to piece together what led to the violent incident on this busy downtown thoroughfare. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, de Bullion.
2 years after buying a modest canoe with no paddling background, New Zealand adventurer Tom Hudson and his companion Sean Henry are about to touch down in the city's historic waterfront. Their 2-year odyssey threaded through the nation's vast network of lakes and rivers, from the rugged coast of British Columbia to the serene waterways of Ontario, before winding up along the St. Lawrence. Officials at the Port of Montreal say the pair will be greeted this afternoon near the Old Port, where a small crowd has gathered with banners and a local guide ready to escort them. Hudson says the journey taught him patience and the kindness of strangers, while Henry credits the experience for deepening his appreciation of Canada's natural corridors. The arrival marks the end of a remarkable cross-country paddle that began back in 2024.
Special constables from the SPCA de Montreal's Investigation Bureau are out on the streets today, conducting daily patrols that turn into emergency interventions whenever they encounter signs of animal cruelty. The unit, authorized under provincial animal welfare legislation, moves through neighborhoods across the island, responding to calls, following tips, and proactively scanning for distressed pets or livestock. Officers document evidence, secure the animals, and when necessary, place them in temporary shelter while legal proceedings begin. The effort aims to enforce the city's animal protection statutes and deter future abuse. Over the past year, the Bureau reported a steady increase in rescued dogs, cats, and birds, reflecting both heightened public awareness and the constable's persistent presence. They also coordinate with municipal inspectors to trace sources of neglect. Today's patrols underscore the SPCA's commitment to safeguarding vulnerable creatures throughout the community.
Visually impaired athletes are taking on cycling, urban walking, kayaking, and cross-country skiing thanks to the Association des Sports pour Aveugles du Montréal Métropolitain, which offers guided participation across the city. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
Guided cyclists roll out onto the Latching Canal Trail, their tandem bikes steered by volunteers from the Association des Sports pour Aveugles du Montréal Métropolitain. The nonprofit coordinates a range of activities, from urban walking tour through bustling streets to quiet kayaking paddles along the river, and even cross-country ski outings when snow blankets the city's parks. Participants, all visually impaired, rely on trained guides who give verbal cues and physical support, turning each outing into a shared experience. The program, rooted in the Montreal metropolitan area, aims to make sport accessible, offering regular sessions that blend fitness with community. As the sun dips over the canal, the group wraps up another day of movement and connection. Ramai Godro, GMNA News, Plateau.
The main entrance at Faber Metro Station on the Blue Line has been sealed off as a major construction project gets underway. Engineers say the work, which involves extensive structural upgrades, will keep the primary access point closed through the winter of 2028. Riders are being asked to shift to the side entrances on Rue Jean Talon and Rue Henry Bourassa, which remain fully operational. The closure affects thousands of daily commuters who rely on the station to connect the Plateau Mont-Royal neighborhood with the rest of the network. SDM officials assure that service on the Blue Line will continue uninterrupted and that the alternate doors will handle the extra flow. Updates on the progress will be posted on the agency's website and announced at the station's information boards. Later, we'll look at the growing safety concerns in Chinatown, where homelessness and drug use are on the rise. We will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Welcome back. Safety concerns are mounting in Chinatown as a growing number of people in visible distress gather around homes and storefronts. Property managers and residents say the presence of homeless individuals and open drug use has made the neighborhood feel unsafe. The City of Montreal says it is coordinating with community groups to address the situation, deploying outreach teams and increasing patrols in the area. Local business owners report that customers are avoiding the streets, and some have reduced hours because of the perceived risk. Neighborhood associations are urging a rapid response, citing the historic district's importance to the city's cultural fabric. Officials stress that the effort will focus on connecting people in need with services while restoring a sense of security for merchants and families living in Chinatown. Social workers are also being sent to provide on-site assistance and referrals.
Montreal City Council opened its first skate park in the Amabea neighborhood of Pierrefonds, Roxborough this August, fulfilling a long-standing West Island demand and advancing the Municipal Youth Resource Plan. Nadia Bellafuel has the full story.
Skaters are already testing the freshly poured concrete of the new skate park that just opened in the Amabea area of Pierrefonds, Roxborough. The city's officials cut the ribbon this morning, and families gathered to watch kids carve the ramps, bowls, and rails that were designed for all skill levels. After a long wait for a dedicated space, the West Island finally has its first skate facility, a key piece of Montreal's broader plan to expand youth services. City planners say the park will serve as a safe, free-access hub for teenagers and younger riders, offering a place to practice tricks and hang out after school. The vibe here is a mix of excitement and relief as the community celebrates this new resource. Nadia Bellafuel, GMNA News, Pierrefonds. Evenco announced a change to its bag rules for events on Parc Jean Drapeau, allowing certain non-transparent bags that stay within the established size limits. The adjustment comes as the venue prepares for the upcoming Lasso Festival, and organizers say it will make entry smoother for concert-goers. Previously, the promoter required clear, see-through bags at Isle Sonic and other island shows, a policy that sparked mixed reactions from attendees. By expanding the acceptable options, Evenco hopes to balance security concerns with fan convenience. The new guidelines apply to all performances taking place at Parc Jean Drapeau starting today, and staff will check bags at security checkpoints to ensure compliance. Festival lovers can now pack their essentials without the need for a plastic window, while still meeting the venue's safety standards. Attendees are encouraged to review the updated policy on Evenco's website before heading to the
The province's constitutional framework is under fresh scrutiny after a lawyer filed a challenge to the 2022 legislation that ended the mandatory oath of allegiance to the king for members of the National Assembly. The filing argues Quebec exceeded its authority by removing a requirement embedded in the Constitution. The Quebec government maintains the law reflects the province's distinct identity, while the challenger contends that only the federal parliament can alter the oath provision. The case will be heard by the Superior Court later this year, and both sides have signaled they are prepared for a protracted legal battle. Legal experts note the outcome could reshape the balance between provincial autonomy and federal constitutional powers, a question that has resurfaced amid ongoing debates over Quebec's place within the federation. The challenge arrives as the province prepares to review other symbolic measures tied to its heritage.
21 firms have submitted proposals for a third crossing between Quebec City and Lévis, responding to an international call for interest as officials evaluate new St. Lawrence River transport options. Ramai Gaudreau has the full story.
21 firms have turned in detailed proposals after an international call for interest in a third crossing over the St. Lawrence River. The submissions arrive as officials in both Quebec City and Lévis weigh options for a new link that would sit alongside the existing Quebec Bridge and the Pierre-Laporte Bridge. Engineers and planners say the ideas range from cable-stayed spans to tunnel concepts, each promising to ease traffic and boost regional connectivity. The province's transportation ministry will review the concepts over the coming months, looking for a solution that meets safety standards and fits the river's challenging currents. Stakeholders hope the next phase will move the project toward a definitive design. Ramai Gaudreau, GMNA News, Quebec City.
Now let's turn to the weather for a quick look at tonight's conditions.
A westward jet stream is locking in warm air, while a stagnant high holds the sky over Montreal. On this date, the city scorched to 35.1 Celsius in 2025, a record set during an unprecedented heat wave that pushed daily highs well above the 26 normal. Conversely, the chill of 13.4 Celsius fell in 2013, a rare dip that arrived with a sudden Arctic surge and left the thermometer far below the 16 normal low. Today's climate normals sit around 26 for the high and 16 for the low, framing the extremes as clear outliers. The live radar is completely quiet across the province, confirming a dry, stable air mass. With the jet stream streaming west at 153 kilometers per hour, any lingering moisture is being sheared away, leaving no rain bands approaching the city. Expect the clear pattern to persist through the evening, allowing the overcast to lift without precipitation. Turning now to tonight's outlook. At 6 p.m., the city sits under thick overcast at 19 degrees, humidity 76%, and a steady west wind of 19 kilometers per hour, gusting up to 42. A near-average high-pressure ridge is holding steady, preventing any frontal intrusion, while the powerful westward jet aloft reinforces the warm air advection that drove today's 28-degree peak. The UV index reads 6, and the maximum wind expected overnight is 24 kilometers per hour from the west, feeling brisk but manageable. No weather alerts are active, and the dry atmosphere promises a quiet night before the next system arrives. Wednesday will see a modest high of 25 degrees and a low of 15, with overcast skies and a 25% chance of rain as a weak trough nudges the region. Thursday drops to a high of 23 and a low of 15. Despite clear skies, a lingering 30% rain probability reflects lingering moisture aloft. Friday brings a high of 22 and a low of 14 under clear conditions, offering the most settled day of the stretch. Saturday warms slightly to a high of 24 and a low of 15, also clear. Sunday returns to overcast with a high of 21, low of 17, and a 25% rain chance as the jet shifts northward. The pattern remains driven by the persistent westward jet and a steady high-pressure system, delivering a mix of mild warmth and intermittent rain chances. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunset is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Up next, we break down today's traffic snarls, preview what's on tonight, and dive into the good food spotlight. We will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. All major routes are moving freely this evening. The Daiquiri Expressway, Autoroute 15, and Boulevard St. Laurent report no slowdowns, and traffic on the Champlain Bridge is flowing at normal speed. Downtown arteries, including Rue St. Catherine and Rue Sherbrooke, are clear, so you can expect a smooth ride home. No accidents or construction are holding up traffic, and the transit system shows no delays. With the road network open, the biggest factor this afternoon will be the typical commuter surge around 6 o'clock, especially along the Ville-Marie corridor and the southbound lanes of Autoroute 6. If you're heading toward the airport, the access road on Autoroute 15 remains unimpeded. Tunnel under the river is clear, and Viaduct Bridge to the South Shore shows no congestion. Drivers can expect travel times similar to normal conditions, roughly 10 minutes for the downtown loop. So unless you're caught in rush, you should have a straightforward trip. Emma, any thoughts on the evening flow?
It looks quiet on the calendar today, but keep an ear out for the buzz of summer festivals and the Canadiens as the playoffs approach. We'll be back with fresh happenings tomorrow. And now here's Jason with sports.
Habs prospects' goaltending optimism and roster moves shape Montreal's summer outlook. Tyler Thorpe finished his rookie AHL campaign with the Laval Rocket, logging 68 games, 4 goals, 12 assists, and 77 penalty minutes. The 6'5" forward's physical edge and fan-pleasing grit cement his place in the Canadiens' bottom six, giving the club a rugged option for next season's depth chart. Carey Price voiced confidence in Montreal's goaltending pipeline, saying the young netminders give the Canadiens a real shot in the postseason. Meanwhile, defenseman Lane Hutson's sixth-place finish on the NHL Network's top defenseman list underscores the club's emerging talent core. Yevgeny Volokin dominated Russia's VHL, posting an outstanding win-loss record, a sub-2 goals against average and a near-perfect save percentage, plus 9 shutouts in 40 games. His playoff performance and league-best workload numbers position him as a strong contender for a Canadiens' backup role. Carey Price believes the Canadiens are genuine Stanley Cup contenders, crediting the surge of young goaltenders as a key factor. Lane Hutson's sixth-place ranking among the league's elite defensemen reinforces Montreal's balanced roster, suggesting the club could sustain a deep playoff run. Forward Vinzenz Rohrer, under a 3-year entry-level deal signed in June 2025, has been loaned to Ev Zug for the remainder of the Swiss National League season. The move gives Montreal extra development time, while Rohrer gains top-level European experience. Jacob Dobish says he's ready whether Montreal runs a 2 or 3 goalie tandem in the 2026 campaign. Alexander Carrier notes the Canadiens remain the league's youngest roster, yet multiple playoff runs have given them valuable experience heading into the new season.
Good Food, headquartered in downtown Montreal, has long been a staple for families seeking fresh, chef-crafted meal kits delivered to their door. The company, which employs 230 people across Canada, was granted creditor protection this week and is now exploring a sale while continuing operations under court supervision. That move aims to preserve jobs and keep the supply chain that supports local farms, distributors, and Montreal's bustling food tech scene alive. Good Food also sponsors neighborhood cooking workshops and partners with Montreal's farmers markets, reinforcing a shared commitment to sustainable food. For many Quebec households, Good Food's weekly boxes have turned a trip to the market into a simple, healthy dinner. It matters because it embodies the city's spirit of culinary innovation and community resilience. Quebec will tighten Ontario bottle return rules, and tomorrow's meteor shower meets a partial eclipse. We will be right back.
Every day, important stories happen across the city before any news crew arrives. Sometimes the very first person at the story is you. When you witness something newsworthy, open the GMNA Citizen Reporter app and start your report. The app guides you through every step while your report is delivered directly to the GMNA newsroom. Every submission is reviewed by our editorial team, and approved reports may be featured on GMNA. Get the GMNA Citizen Reporter app today at my.gmna.ca. Your city, your news. Welcome back. Quebec plans to tighten its bottle deposit rules, potentially restricting Ontario residents from redeeming empties at provincial depots amid growing long lines. The change aims to ease congestion. Matthew Lachance has the full story.
Quebec's bottle deposit system is set to tighten its rules, a move that could slow Ontario drivers trying to cash in empties at provincial depots. Officials say queues have grown long at redemption sites, prompting a review of the policy that currently accepts containers from any Canadian province. Under the proposed changes, Ontario origin bottles might face additional verification steps or be limited to certain locations, making the process less convenient for out-of-province recyclers. The province's container return scheme, which began in the early 2000s, has long welcomed bottles and cans from neighboring regions, but mounting wait times are forcing regulators to rethink the open access model today. Matthew Lachance, GMNA News, Quebec City.
A meteor shower will coincide with a partial solar eclipse over Quebec, creating a rare celestial alignment later today. Remy Gaudreau has the full story.
Tomorrow night, the heavens over Quebec will host an unusual double show. A steady stream of meteors from the forecasted shower will blaze across the sky just as the moon slips partially in front of the sun, dimming daylight for a brief window. Astronomers say the two events will overlap, offering viewers a chance to see bright fireballs against a faintly eclipsed horizon. Skywatchers in the province are setting up telescopes and blankets, hoping the clouds hold. The partial eclipse will begin in the early afternoon, reach its maximum as the meteor activity peaks, then fade as night falls. It's a rare alignment that won't repeat for decades. Officials remind the public to use proper eye protection during the eclipse portion. Remy Gaudreau, GMNA News, Quebec.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us this evening. Tonight's highlight, the New Zealanders' 2-year canoe journey ending here, reminded us of the power of perseverance. We'll also follow the SPCA's daily rescues in the city's first skate park in Pierrefonds, Roxborough. Stay safe, stay curious, and tune in tomorrow for more stories that shape our city.